Margot Duley, and I'm on the board of Inclusive Justice. We wish we knew how it would feel to be free. We wish we knew how it would feel to have Michigan recognize lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgendered, intersex, and queer persons having full moral and legal authority. We wish we knew how it would feel to have anti-bullying ordinances enumerated to include LGBT persons. We wish we knew how it would feel to have non-discrimination ordinances in every town and city and village in Michigan. We wish we knew how it would feel to have second parent adoptions recognize both gay parents' rights and responsibilities. We wish we knew how it would feel to have domestic partnerships. We wish we knew how it would feel to have marriage equality. We're not there yet. We cannot yet know how it would feel to be free from the unwarranted intrusions of the state into the lives of its citizens. But we can let ourselves feel this here and now in this place. A great deal of hope and a great deal of faith that the arc of God's justice bends towards this community and its allies. Here's an amazing fact. There is majority support, public support, for 4 of the 5 issues that I've mentioned in Michigan, with one exception. And that is marriage equality. And even on this most contentious of issues, only an 8% shift in public opinion would lead to majority support. Last year, the Arcus Foundation commissioned a highly respected research firm to poll the Michigan public on these issues, and here were their findings. 75% public support in Michigan for anti-bullying legislation that specifically enumerates not only LGBTQ persons, but race, every issue that divides, sadly divides our citizens. 67% for non-discrimination ordinances in housing and employment, including transgender persons. 59% support for domestic partnerships, and 52% for second parent adoptions. Of equal significance, they probed attitudes across Christian denominations and found that, generally speaking, majority support held true among mainline Protestants, Roman Catholics, and African American churchgoers. So, if this is where majority opinion actually stands, why does the climate around our issues feel so polarized, so cruel, so oppressive? The reason, of course, is that public debate has been dominated by highly vocal, well-funded right-wing political opponents, often with a wider social and political agenda, and their right-wing religious allies. That is why it is critically important to mobilize progressive and moderate religious voices, to raise loud and clear for all of Michigan to hear, voices of love, voices of inclusion, voices of acceptance, voices that counter the fear, the misinformation, and false theological assumptions that have grabbed headlines and distorted Michigan's legislative climate. Another very hopeful study conducted by Auburn Media, and there is a representative of Auburn Media here today, shows that many faith-based opponents, primarily textual literalists, can be moved by messages that appeal to deeper spiritual insights, love and acceptance, the golden rule instead of fear-based hyperbole. And the golden rule is found in every major world tradition, whether it's named that way or not. There is that deep spiritual insight in all of the world's religions. There is a path forward to a fairer Michigan. We invite you to travel down this path with us. Yesterday, over 30 clergy and lay persons representing some 20 congregations, denominations, and faith-based groups from 18 different cities and towns began to plan a statewide coalition embracing all Michigan faith traditions. In coalition, we will raise our voices loud and clear to support each other's work towards LGBTQ persons' acceptance and inclusion in religious institutions and public policy. To recognize oppression comes in many virulent forms: race, poverty, ethnicity, and that our work must be holistic. We ourselves must model love and inclusion. In coalition, we will embolden silent pews and pulpits to speak out on these issues as a matter of faith, to raise voices to counter those of intolerance. And we invite all of you to join us. Pleased and honored to introduce our keynote speaker, Reverend Dr. Selma Massey. Reverend Dr. Massey is the founding pastor of Whosoever Ministry in Birmingham. She comes from a long line of family ministers. Whosoever Ministry provides a safe place of worship for lesbian, gay, bi-affectionate, and transgender persons. Dr. Massey is a native of Detroit. She has an impressive list of degrees. She has a bachelor's and master's degrees in sociology and counseling from the University of Detroit. She has a bachelor's of social work and is credentialed by the state of Michigan. She went on to earn a doctorate in educational leadership from Western Michigan University, and she was ordained by the New Covenant Community Ministries. Reverend Dr. Massey has had an admirable and intertwined calling as a spiritual, psychological, and practical counselor to the marginalized. Her work as a clinical social worker and community health worker has included crisis intervention with abused adults, work with disabled offenders, and work with victims of domestic violence. Please welcome Reverend Dr. Selma Massey.
I tell you, more than 40 years ago, the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King said that we are seeking a society that can be at peace with itself. And then, as he talked to this group on the Selma to Montgomery March, preparing for that, the people said, "How long?" He said, "Not long." And once again, "How long?"
Not long.
He said, "Not long." So how long are children going to have to stand at bus stops and wonder if these bullies that are approaching them going to beat them up or run off? And there's no safe place to run to get help. There's no safe haven at the church. There's no safe haven at the high school. I talked to a young man not long ago, and he said this happened to him. And what he did was he just dropped out of school. How long? Not long. Last week, we buried a minister in the LGBT community. He had been dead in his home for more than 5 days. Isolated, left alone. No one knew. How long? Not long. Let's just go on. Yesterday, I hear from George that he was in a restaurant with some friends, and they asked him to leave the restaurant because they perceived that he was gay, and his friends were gay. How long will that go on? How long? Not long. Not long. Martin Luther King said a little later at the Southern Christian Leadership Conference, and we're talking 40 years ago, and we're not tired yet. But what he said was, the arc, and I'm so glad that you said that. The moral arc is long, but it bends towards justice. He said, I have decided that love is the ultimate weapon for society's problems. He says, we must choose to love if we're going to straighten this out. And he said, I'm not talking about the mamby-pamby love. I'm not talking about the romantic love. I'm talking about the love that dares, the love that will do, the love that will stand, the love that ain't tired yet. And then I looked up Malcolm X, and you know he's a little different. He was a little different from Martin Luther King. And what I loved about Malcolm X, he said, understanding leads to love. And then he said, then love leads to patience. And patience itself leads to unity. But how long? Not long. Because we ain't tired yet. We just can't throw it in our hands and give up and walk off. Let me tell you this. This is what Malcolm X says. He says, I'm for truth, no matter who tells it. I'm for justice, no matter who is for or who is against. I'm a human being first and foremost. And as such, I'm for whoever and whatever benefits humanity as a whole. Whoever and whatever benefits society as a whole. So back to Martin Luther King, he says, I decided to love. If you're seeking the highest good, I think you'll find it through love. And the beautiful thing is that we're moving against wrong when we do it. He says, John was right. God is love. He who hates doesn't know God. But he who has love has the key to unlock the door. Let me tell you this quote in particular from Malcolm X. And I'm going from one to the other because they're both relevant even now, more than 40 years later. Malcolm X said, we declare our right on this earth to be a human being, to be respected as a human being, to be given the rights of a human being in this society, on this earth, in this day, in the state of Michigan, I added that, which we intend to bring into existence by any means necessary. Why? Because we're not tired yet. We're not tired yet. Is there anybody in here who's tired yet? No, we're not tired yet. I'll answer for you. But we can believe these things. You know, we can have that mental assent where we believe. Oh, we believe. We can be couch potatoes. And we believe. It doesn't necessarily mean that we'll get up from the couch and do anything. But what we must do, we must go a little further, and we must put feet on our faith. We have to let our faith get active. We must do something. We must begin to have faith in love. We must begin to let people know what we're doing. We must let them know that we're not tired yet. Some people said that we'll get our rights over their dead bodies. Okay, because we're not tired yet. We're going to keep on pushing until we get the legislation we need. That's okay, because we're not tired yet. We're going to keep on raising our youth so that they can have the mantle when we pass it to them. That's all right, because we ain't tired yet. So I challenge you today to go out and go tweet, to go out and go Facebook, to go out and go blog. Don't get tired. Don't give up. Don't be too tired yet. Because one day indeed, one day, we shall all be free. We shall all be free. And just remember what Malcolm X said. By any means necessary. Love. Thank you.